I don't know where this is going to be in the video. I started this video well over 4 months ago. Long story short, I had to get the rear end in my truck replaced, and that took a long time. Situations out of my hands, and so I sat on this video for a while. And since I got it back, I did things to the truck that I didn't show in the video, and I did things that I didn't tell you I was going to do. Like, I removed all the tint from my truck. My driver's door was the only one without tint. The passenger door had some old dry rotted purple tint that was so hard to take off. I bought a steamer off of Amazon to get it off. It was that bad. I put in the gauges. I think I said in the video, like I said, I put the exhaust temperature in while it was getting work done at the shop. I had them do it. Wasn't much, and I had already done the wiring. I didn't end up putting the fuses in. I got the added fuses. They're just sitting in my... I wired everything up to the radio harness just so I could get it working temporarily, and it's working so well I don't want to change it, because that's, you know, more work, and right now it's just sitting good. But I wanted to, you know, update you through this ways, because I've got a Fold 5, but sometimes when I hold it like this, my finger covers up the mic. And I checked the video. I could not post it the way that it is, because it literally sounds like you got water in this ear. It's so horrible. I tried everything I could do, and the only way to fix it would be on your side, was to, if you're on a Windows system, is to switch your audio to mono instead of surround. So I'm gonna take you through and show you the results of what I did. I wanted you to see all that I could do. It's not fully complete. I got the wires run underneath the boards here. Doesn't look perfect, but one of these days I'm gonna switch out these seats for regular lariat seats, and possibly do you know, one of those center chairs as well. And when I do that, I'm going to take back seat out, those chairs out, pull the flooring up so I can run all the wires underneath. It's a little sub box. It's a little Boss Audio Base 10 underseat subwoofer. I know I said I was going to put 2 under the seat, but I just ran out of time, ran out of not patience, but just passion to do it. So I just wired up the one, and it works good enough. It gives you bass where you need it. Sounds throaty and punchy, but it's not going to rattle the windows loose. It's not going to do all that. But like I said, it works. I'm happy with it. I think you'll be happy with it too. In a big old crew cab truck like this, it fills the space with bass when the right song is on. I also put Velcro name brand double-sided sticky tape that has the little fingers on it. I forget what they're called, so that way it would grip the carpet. Guess what? Don't work, but it's on there. I got all the gauges set up. Turn the truck on to show you what it looks like. I don't know if any of you would have noticed, but when I was drilling the holes to run the wires through and whatnot, if any of you thought that I needed to make those holes bigger, you're right, because this one's twisted. I can't twist it this way without it sticking out, because it's got studs out the back to be mounted to like a little bar plate. And needless to say, again, I just ran out of passion to change it. But like I said, it works. I got everything to work. The radio I bought came with a remote. It works. Has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It runs DVDs. But this is my trans temp. This is my exhaust temp. This is my boost temp. This is what this looks like. I don't know how well it looks. or if you even noticed. Probably didn't. But I took the tint off. You can see there's some window tint right there. I'm going to get this truck retinted eventually, and when I do, I'm going to let the tint guy worry about it. But it got so humid and so muggy sitting out here when I got the truck back that the entire back glass delaminated. So I was able to peel it off with very little effort. And when I did that, my dad made mention that it looked nice and I should probably do it to the rest of the truck. And I did. That one had purple window tint, same as that one. That one was double layered. And so was this one, double layered. I don't know if they left the film on it and forgot to take it off, but I took a razor, cut it down the middle, and took my steamer, started pulling, and then all of a sudden I realized I don't need steam to pull this off. Pulled it off, and then pulled the other half off and noticed, why do I still see a cut mark down the middle of the window? That's because there's still window tint. And I had to use steam to get the rest of that off, and I did that for both back glasses. So as you can see, I put worm clamps on the tube. I ran it through. This is the second nylon tube. I bought a second tube from Amazon. It's from the Glow Shift store. And what I did was I unraveled it and tightened one end in the vise. As you can see, here's the end that I tightened in the vise, and I cut it off. But what I did was I ran it all the way across somewhere around here, and I had a heat gun down here, little cheap Chinese heat gun, and I was heating up the tube to the point where if you were seeing it, you were thinking that I was melting it, and I wasn't. Like I said, I was heating it up. It looked like it was melting, but it wasn't, because it reads boost. And the wire would be curvy. I don't know, let's just say curvy. And I would sit there on the heat gun, and eventually it would just float and sag. And I did that all across the tube. And I still have excess. I got it twisted up in the A-pillar, actually. But here's the audio wire. Heat shrinked, crimped what I needed crimping. Got it done right, I hope. And here's the exhaust gas temperature wire. I don't know if you can see anything down there. There it is. There's the sensor. If I can't get everything done today, this will be a multi-part video. But I bought the Glow Shift kit that came with boost gauge, trans temp gauge, and EGT sensor. And I thought either it came with one or I ordered it, the drill bit and tap for this thing to install the EGT sensor, and I don't see one. But good news, I do have tap and die on hand and drill bits. So if I've got the drill bit that'll fit and the tap that'll fit, I'll do it today. But if I don't and it requires a special bit, two-parter. But I should be able to get the trans temp plugged up. I should be able to get the wire ran for the exhaust temp. So all I got to do is just drill it and plug it in. But I'll still show the install of all the gauges. But here's the pod already. It's not assembled, it's just loosely fit in place. I have no idea what goes to what. I know how to work with wiring, but again, no idea what goes to what. Now look up videos. They gave me some very good diagrams in color. So come along with me for the journey of modifying my 7.3. As you can see, it was already done before, but hopefully it'll cover it up. It's not the, it's close. It's close to matching in color. Got 3 holes where the gauge pod should line up. It took longer than I'd like to admit to drill the holes in the right spot that, you know, it won't bunch up or kink when the pods go in. And it also took me longer than I'd like to admit to install these. They're Christmas trees, but they're very, very, very tough to put in because they're hard. And so I'd start with a small bit, try to push it in, wouldn't go in, do the next step up, try to push it in, wouldn't go in. I ended up going through 5 different drill bits before the hole got big enough to push in. So it's in there tight and it ain't coming off, but like I said, it took me longer than I'd like to admit. I got good news. I do have the tap 1/8 27 NP or 1/8 NPT 27. 1/8 NPT 27. Just trust me on it, okay? Just trust me. Well, it's taken me a while, but I'm chugging along. I assumed that I bought a full kit. I did not. No fault on their end. It's completely my fault. I should have paid attention to see what I was getting. So I need to wait till tomorrow, but it'll be in this video. But it'll be tomorrow for me. But luckily, the parts I ordered from Amazon will be shipped overnight, and they should be here by at latest 8 a.m. in the morning. So yay, by the time I wake up, I'll be able to wire everything. I'm still going to you know, physically install everything. The radio should be plugged up, and you know, subwoofers and whatnot should be plugged up and ready to go. It's just that the fuses and whatnot, or the gauges, they need antifuses, so they will be ran where they need to run to work and light up, but they will not be plugged in. Also, this cabling they give you, it's for everything. The green wire is for trans temp, brown wire is for either an H-pop or fuel, and the blue wire is for H-pop or fuel. I don't know which one. So you can take out what you don't need. But what I do not understand, okay, hear me out. In the instructions it says connect the green wire to the positive side of the trans temp sensor, which is the white wire, and they give you a stripped end. So obviously that's how it's supposed to connect. But on the other end, they give you this, and you may be like, well, okay, and this is for mounting to like a bolt, and I'm not so sure why they put that on there when that's how they want me to connect it. I don't know why they did that. So I got it all wired together. I got heat shrink connectors. We're doing it right. We're doing it right. It is currently dark outside. I've been doing this for a long time. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do because I can't show you. At least I don't think I can. But there's already a boost tube fitting whatever inside the truck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use electrical tape right here. I'm going to tape this to the existing boost tube and pull the boost tube out through the hole that was already pre-cut. Now the boost tube is a bit thicker than this, which is good for me because that's going to allow me to put this tube through. The braided steel protected wires for the exhaust temperature gauge, and the green wire is going to be able to go through the same hole. And I'll show you the hole I'm going to use. Now hopefully, if you can follow this, I'm going to try my best. This tube right here, this tube is the one you need to follow. Okay. That bright spot on the firewall. Right there between all these hoses right here. That's just a plug. I don't know if that's for the clutch assembly for trucks that have clutches or whatnot. There's a hole for this tube already. So I'm going to take this steel cable, put it through that same hole, draw the other one through, because I've already showed you the connection. But anyways, that's what I'm going to do, and it's going to be hard to film this and work at the same time. As you can see, I got it through. Now I'm going to take the big tube off and tape this wire and then pull it back through so I can get it up there, because I could easily shove it in that hole. It's just I don't want to have to hunt for it underneath the dash and shove it through the dash when I can just draw it back up. I got it installed. There's the rest of the wires hanging down. I'll trim them when it's time to install. But I just want to forewarn y'all that even though this is a good kit, you have to be gentle with this tubing. It likes to kink. You can see one right there and one at the end of my fingertip right here. It kinked twice. It was unsavable. I didn't yank it through the dash. I was being gentle to it. I thought I was persuading it. I thought it was agreeing with me. Nope. So luckily this truck already came with the boost gauge, and there was already came with the boost gauge, and there was already a tubing ran. I'm using a mobility scooter right now because I've been on my feet for like the past 4 hours. But there it is. I have that capped off like a tied up organ. There's the original line going to the T that was already there. Now I got that T going all the way over there back to that hole, but I've got everything zip tied out of the way where it's not rubbing. That looks like it's rubbing. It's not. But this is what I'm having to deal with. The right thing to do is to ask and or buy the whole plastic tubing kit and do it from scratch again. But I have already wasted a lot of time, and tubing is tubing, and air is air, vacuum is vacuum, PSI is PSI. That's a boost tube already. The new boost tube is just a different one, so it'll all work. Mechanic. But the green wire is the positive / signal for the transmission temp sensor. I'm going to do that next. And then that wire back there, that's the EGT connector, and that'll be the last thing I do. And if I'm feeling up to it, it'll be the radio. Been a while. I got the gauges installed. I don't know if I've already said this already, but I've got a tap and a drill bit that fits, because the one that's supposed to drill is a 30 seconds sized drill bit. I only have things that go down to 16th. Long story short, I don't want to drill too small of a hole, break a tap, nor do I want to drill too big of a hole and have an exhaust leak. So that'll be here Sunday. It is currently Saturday, technically, in the morning, but I've been working on it since Friday, which was a few hours ago. I started working on the radio so that way I could get the rest of the gauge pods lit up. I'm going to hardwire it in for now and then use antifuses later, because I got way too much wire in the cab, so I'm going to use that time to short it down. But tonight I just want to make sure that the trans temp and the boost gauge at least works. So I've got all the connectors connected. I'm going to trim these little things off. Okay, so I realized I made a mistake. I had old school, little pods, and they required little LED bulbs to light them up. And I was like, white for power, black for ground. So when the yellow wire called for 12 volts constant, I was like, oh, there it is. But my dumb self forgot that I wired these lights into the light switch, so that way when I turn the lights on, the gauge pods would light up. So I took a drive just wondering, the gauge working? No, they weren't working. So, I mean, the boost gauge did work because it uses actual boost to move the needle. But let me show you the jerry rigging I had to do. Keep in mind, this ain't your truck. This is my truck. Again, not your truck, my truck. So, all the, I believe that's, yeah, black ground. Yellow is 12 volts constant. Orange, I believe, is headlights. And then red is switched. So I have them running up through here, back to there, where I have them teed off into the radio harness, because they use just A, the same color wires, and B, they're actually the same wires. So that's how I was able to quick test them. Now these should, depending on how lazy I am, should get an antifuse and be plugged into the fuse box down there like Glow Shift says you should. But I may not do that because it's just easier to bundle all that wire up, shove it in there where I can't see it, and work it. But as of right now, I am impressed with this head unit. I forgot I put a CD in there, so it's stuck in there until I plug it back in. But CD player works. I'm happy. Haven't tried Android Auto yet, but I'm happy with my purchase. But it'll be a bit, obviously same video, but it'll be a bit for me till I can get the exhaust gauge working and wire up the all-in-one subwoofers that are 1000 watt. But as of right now, just the radio with the woofers and the EQ in them, I'm happy. Is it the best? Is it like, oh my god? No, it will not rock your socks. It will not blow the doors off. They probably would not be able to hear it if you rolled down your windows with your truck running. That's just how it is. You need outdoor speakers. You need serious sound design to get that to work. But with the subwoofers hooked in, they probably should be able to hear you. But other than that, it is meant for you and your passengers in the cabin to enjoy. And that happens. That's for real. That was like $120, $16 Chinese, no name. I mean, it had a name, but Soundwave Design, I don't think that's a real brand. But off Amazon, I'm happy with it. Touchscreen, Android Auto, CarPlay, all that. Granted, it's plugged in, but you know, it is what it is. I realized I didn't show you what the gauges look like plugged up. I'll do that right now. They do not flicker in real life. That's just the refresh rate of the LED matching the refresh rate of my camera. But other than that, as you can see, I took a little drive. Transmission's a little warmed up enough for the gauge to work. That's not plugged in, so it's reading wide open. So like I said, I'll get that plugged in later, and that does move. But on my old gauge, I only made about 20 psi with the, I believe it was like a 80 horsepower daily driver from Power Hungry Performance. So I will not need, from like that little notch all the way to the, I will not need that, because I am not dropping 20 grand into this truck to get a built motor, built trans, just to then, you know, turn it up and then break it. No, this is going to be the truck that I mildly modify and then give to my grandkids one day. I'm married to this truck. So I just got done with the radio install, took it for a drive just to see everything work out. It's past 4 o'clock in the morning, and I started this like 5 o'clock yesterday evening, 5:15. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. Believe it or not, I actually do enjoy wiring. Most people don't, but I do. I'm starting to realize I don't like the mechanics part of it, because, you know, I want my truck to be 4-wheel drive, and I'm thinking to myself, well, what if I do it myself? And every time I get under this truck, I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So we'll see if I can't pay someone else to do that. But it fits real good. My only complaint is that when I go to reach for this knob and turn it, my thumb gets caught between this little plastic piece and the knob. There's no way to turn off the radio. It's just on when the truck's on and off when the truck's off. You can pause music and stuff like that, but it don't really, just off. But got the radio hooked up, and I got kicker woofers in here. And let's just say that turning the volume up past 30, these things really come alive, and I'm really impressed by this head unit, really. So, like I said, it'll be a while before I can get the other stuff done, but it's in the making. It's in the making. So that's what I was able to get done since I got it back. Fix stuff that I didn't fix. I still got one more Boss Audio Base 10 subwoofer just sitting. Probably going to use it on a different car one day. But like I said, it's nice. I'm not disappointed in it. It's well worth the $100 and some that I bought it for. But I can't end this video off without an exhaust clip. I purchased a Banks muffler delete pipe, and I don't know if I bought the wrong one, if it was meant for a 6.0 and not a 7.3, but I put in the year, make, model of my truck on Amazon, and it said it would fit, but I'm looking underneath my truck and the exhaust doesn't quite look like it would fit. Now, I think I got what you call a California 7.3. It has a catalytic converter on it. Most 7.3s didn't come with them, but I don't know that much about the new body style. I'm familiar with the OBS. I never owned an OBS, but I'm just familiar with them. But I got a catalytic converter that I need to get rid of. I got a muffler that looks like it's about fully rusted out that I need to get rid of. But as of right now, as it sits with the tuner, I'm going to warm it up a little bit, pause the video, and then for me, but you'll see it in the next clip, and I'll set everything up and give you an exhaust clip. Changed my mind. I'll give you a cold start. It hasn't been running since yesterday, I think, or the day before that. So it will be a cold start. So let's talk next steps. Or at least not next steps, but next biggest mod. Because I may do some small things, like put new tint or change something. But the next big, well, realistically, the only big items left are motor upgrade, new turbo, new injectors, new exhaust, that type of stuff. Fixing the dents on the truck, and I don't know if you saw, I hope you did, the dents on my bed, because it used to tow RVs for a living. It was bought brand new as that configuration to tow RVs, and as you can tell, they dropped a few on the bed. I do not want a flatbed, but if I find one cheaper than a regular bed. Also, it's like my goal, next goal is the bed, obviously. Either fix it, find a new one, not new one, but new to me one. But pull all the dents out, because I got a rust spot, like a bald spot on my head. I got a rust spot on the back of the cab next to the third brake light. So I'm going to want at least the roof painted white to match the rest of the truck. Some smaller things that are still big. Part of me wants to front clip swap it to a 6.4, because that was my first power stroke, was a 6.4 until I blew it up. But kind of want to, but while it sits here, I'm like, it's a grandpa truck. I like that it looks like a grandpa truck, so I may keep it as is. Also, I got the rear end swapped out from a 410 Dana 80 to a 373 sterling 10.5. You say, why would you go ahead and do that? Number one, when I had my 6'4", the heaviest thing I ever towed was a 12,000-pound fifth wheel camper. My family, not my direct family, but my brother-in-law, he still owns it. And should I need to pull it for him, or should he want to borrow my truck to pull it? You know, when we first towed it, I had 373s in my F-250 6'4", and it towed that truck. The only reason why the trailer, the only reason why that truck blew up was because it was towed on the race tune, and I didn't know anything about diesels at that point. I just thought, okay, cool, it's got a toter, run it. And that's what put a hole in the piston. Anyways, but I got 373s put in it, and I don't know what the speedo's like, how different it is, but when I tell you this truck feels illegal to drive, it feels like a speed demon. But Joshua, it's a clapped out 7.3. What do you mean it feels like a speed demon? First off, I leave it in tune 9, which from Power Hungry Performance is their 90 horsepower daily driver tune. So with 373s and a big old 7.3 with a stage 2 built transmission, the fact that I am below 1500 RPM doing 50 or 60 miles an hour feels illegal. It is too nice. I don't have to struggle to drive. Transmission kind of needs to be retuned because it still expects 410s, but I don't got 410s. But I'm not, like when you wide open throttle, it goes the way it's supposed to. No problem shifting. But when you're around town, it shifts sooner than it should. So I need to get new tunes for that. But I want a 4-wheel drive swap it. I've got new coil buckets. I'm going to get all the parts up front, so when I take it to the shop, I don't have to wait for them to find the parts, because as knowledgeable as I am, I kind of know what parts to buy. So it's not like, it's like the used parts they'll buy, you know, like the axles and whatnot, because they'll warranty the axles. But you know, coil buckets I bought brand new. I'm leaving them in the plastic bag. They're not going to rust. The new steering box, because I'm going to upgrade to a 601, I'm going to buy that new. I ain't going to buy it used. The new hose that you're supposed to run, I'm going to buy that new. The housing swap, you know, the rear end of the housing of the transmission and the new output shaft that has to be ordered, I'm going to buy those new. I ain't going to buy them used. So the parts I will buy brand new, and I'll get that done. But like I said, first things first, I want to get the bed fixed. I want the truck to look nice, because I just got dents and dings everywhere. You can tell it is a work truck, or at least it was used as one. So also, now I'm thinking about it, I got to get the new cab lights ordered, because I need ones with LEDs built in, because the ones that I've got, the gaskets on them are kind of and so now I only got 2 out of 5 working, you know, cab lights. But this truck will be coming along. It'll be months before I can post, because you know, you got to save the money. I don't make a whole lot, and you know, if you want to see me driving this thing around town, you know, let me know down in the comments. I'm willing to start a YouTube channel around this truck. If not, then this will be just like a photo album, you know, documenting my truck's progress. And maybe if you got similar wants and desires, also stay tuned, bookmark this channel, subscribe, and never watch it until I post. I don't care. I don't want a big old lifted truck. You know, I'm a big boy. I'm almost 30. And getting in and out of that truck at stock height, I'm like, it's kind of tall. I'd like something lower to the ground. So maybe, just maybe, I'll look into, you know, obviously reverse leveling it, but see if I can't get J-brake I-40s in front of my house, in case I didn't say it before. But I'm gonna see if I can't lower the truck and have it 4-wheel drive. That would, chef's kiss. I want to keep the stock tire size. I don't necessarily want to keep the stock wheel size, but you know, that's money I got to spend, and I want to keep this truck as cheap as possible. This ain't gonna be no show truck. This is just gonna be, you know, when I'm 80 years old, that's Papaw's truck. You know, our grandkids will be like, yeah, that's Papaw's truck. And there's like, yeah, maybe one day it'll be Papaw's race truck. I don't know, but for right now, you know, KC Gen 3, hopefully when they make them for the E99s, Gen 3 Stage 2, you know, 23880 injectors, I'm fine. I don't need to, you know, upgrade anything else. Maybe H-pop, maybe. Hot out here. But like I said, just keep an eye on this channel. I'll upload when things get done, because right now I'm going to cut the video off and edit stuff, make it fit together. Also, future dream, don't know what might come of it, but I don't know if it's a new Edge Mustang or an F100 Crown Vic swap. That'll be, you know, a year and a half away from me doing that, but I want to coyote swap one. After watching, you know, Yellow Douchebag Tuning, Alex Flores, I really want a coyote. You know, if you watch the Craig 909, he has a beautiful pushrod 302, makes 500 horsepower, revs out to 7,000, and it just sounds rowdy. And I'm a part of his Patreon, and the PDF file he gives you of all the parts he's used, I did the math. I literally spent all night doing the math. It's over $10,000 in the engine alone just to make 500 horsepower and rev out to 7,000 RPM. And it's like $10,000 will get you a coyote swap, and you'll make 500 horsepower and rev out to 8,000 RPM already with the Lund tune. So it's like, you know, choose your battles. So thank you for watching. This is hopefully Salvation Auto, where we save cars and thank God for saving us. Pay it forward.